Welcome to Jhoira's Junkyard. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, we've got 2 lands in the hand, memory jar. Do we want a mulligan on this one? Let's see if we can't get a little bit more mana. Yeah, let's go one more mulligan. I kind of like what we've got going on, but ooh, yeah, this one's pretty ugly. Let's go one more go, and then let's see what we've got. Let's go one more go. All right, we're going to keep on this one. Sorry, but probably should have kept on that first one. I was just hoping to run into something more like a Signet or something to allow us to get down Jhoira. But hey, it is what it is. Let's go and put that on top of our library for right now. Let's go and get down Cascade Bluffs and then anything else. Now we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Jhoira. Not Jhoira. Well, maybe Jhoira. Who knows? The jury's still out on that one. We're playing Jhoira, Weatherlight Captain. Whenever you cast an historic spell, draw a card, and that's going to be artifacts, legendaries, and sagas are considered historic. And we are playing a Cheerio style deck, which I'll also explain that. What we've got going on. Let's go and draw into that Signet. Let's get down the Wooded Foothills. Let's go and crack Wooded Foothills. Let's grab one of our dual sources. We'll get that down. Get down the Is It Signet. Then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. It's going to be 1 and then 2. Now, we will be online for Wheel of Fortune next turn, so we can still get a fresh look at our, get a fresh hand, so it's not the end of the world that we had mulligan down so far. Anything else, kick it back over there. We are playing against Animar, Soul of Elements. Protection from white and black. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1 counter on Animar, Soul of Elements. Creature spells you cast cost one less to cast for each +1 counter on Animar. Now, if you've not seen Jhoira, this particular deck before, this is a Cheerio kind of artifact style deck. That means we're going to have a bunch of 0 converted mana cost artifacts. We're going to get down Jhoira, start casting a lot of those artifacts, get that card draw going. And then one of the ways that we do win is, well, every time you cast a spell during a turn, it's going to be a storm count. Your storm count's going to get bigger. Let's see what we draw into. Draw into Command Tower. Let's go and get down Command Tower. Do we want a Wheel of Fortune at this point? We can go for Jhoira, or we can jam a Fact or Fiction on our opponent's side. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for Jhoira. I think I like that. Yeah, let's go and do that. Let's tap out on the Is It Signet. Yeah, we mulligan down to whatever, and I was really worried we weren't going to be able to even get our commander down, but here we are, turn 3, getting her down. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. We do have Wheel of Fortune, so we'll kind of see how we want to break it down. We might end up going for Wheel of Fortune instead next turn, because we can give us a look at 7 more cards. And really, once you start to get those artifacts out there, you can really get some really good card draw going with Jhoira. But yeah, long story short, we're looking to get down a bunch of artifacts, start drawing a bunch of cards, and then we'll have some sort of storm card that's going to allow us to hopefully kind of close it out from there, whether it's Grape Shot or something like that. All right, drawn to midnight. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and I think we'll go ahead and cast it. Yeah, let's go ahead and cast it. That way we can get the card draw going. And then I may speed this up depending on how quickly we chain this together. Let's go and go for Wheel of Fortune. Let's tap the Cascade Bluffs. Is It Signet? That's going to be 1, 2. Let's go and go for Wheel of Fortune. All right, our opponent did shuffle away a Kozilek, and get shuffled back into the library. Now, we did hit it Ignite Memories, which is good. We're not going to be online for Storm just yet with that. Let's go and get down Misty. Let's go and go for Welding Jar. And what we'll do is we'll crack that Misty in response to her trigger. That way, you know, odds are we probably won't draw into that land, but at least we don't want to have it. Let's go ahead and grab Steam Vents. We're going to go and shock this one. Yeah, we're going to pay 2 life on this one. We're going to draw an additional card. Draw into Weird Invention. And I think at this point, with us having Gamble in the hand, let's go ahead and gamble for one of our combo pieces that really helps us kind of filter some of our card draws. We have Ignite Memories in the hand and Empty the Warren, so we're actually kind of okay on a win condition. We need something that's going to help us smooth out our draws. Let's go ahead and grab this Artificer's Assistant. All right, there we go. Empty the Warrens, went into the bin. A little bit of a bummer, but that happens. Let's go and tap out for blue, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent, kick it back over there. But yeah, so as far as this deck goes, you know, looking down to get a bunch of artifacts, start filtering through our library. You can see that we had 2 win conditions in the hand. We had Empty the Warrens. We're going to be able to create 2 red goblin tokens for each spell that we've cast this turn. And we also had Ignite Memory, so that's going to be our new win condition. Really fun to go for, and especially if your opponent has a lot of cards in the hand. Opponent's going to go for Profaner of the Dead. Exploits, return a creature to its owner's hand. More than likely it's going to be Jhoira, but we'll see what they're going to go for. Okay, and they bounce everything back to the hand. Now, we can still get down Jhoira next turn and get down the Artificer's Assistant. It kind of depends on what we draw into. Animar is only sitting at a 2-2, so it's not like they're really kind of knocking your door down, trying to close the game out just yet at a 2-2. All right, drawn to Diligent Excavator. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and get down Jhoira. Would have liked to hit the land drop. At least we can still get down this artifact. Let's go and tap out for 1 mana, get down the Is It Signet, and then go ahead and tap out for Jhoira. Let's go and get her down. We're going to go for Artificer's Assistant. Yeah, let's go and tap out for 1 blue for Artificer's Assistant. Now, what happens when we get that down is we can cast Midnight. We're going to get that Scribe ability. And then what we're going to do is be able to draw, make sure we kind of filter our draw. So at this point right now, most of the time we're going to be looking for an artifact, but in fact, we're actually going to be looking for, just want to make the lane drop for the turn. That's going to be an important thing. All right, there we go. Hit a mountain. Let's get him, get Midnight down. Let's go and get the mountain down. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent, kick it back over there. So we did kind of reset just a little bit. That Profaner kind of, I was thinking Profaner bounce 1 creature back to the hand, but it returns all creatures with power and toughness less than that Wall of Blossom. So that was something that bounced everything back. But we're still in a good spot. All we need to do is draw into another artifact. If for some reason we can't get it going next turn, we do have Hurkyl's Recall. So with Hurkyl's Recall, we can get that down, bounce it back to the hand, start filtering through some of our artifacts to really kind of start filtering through some of our card draw. But I wanted to give a happy birthday shout out to the Banana King. He requested Jhoira for his birthday video. I think technically his birthday was on Sunday, or today when I'm recording it, but this is releasing on Monday. So at least just wanted to say a happy birthday to the Banana King. You've been... the Banana King's been around for a very, very long time, so I appreciate that. And if you don't hop in the comments, because that's how I kind of make magic friends through my channel. And so I've always considered, I've always enjoyed responding to the comments over the years. So anyway, happy birthday! Hope you had a fun one. All right, we do draw into Jolt Amulet. Now this is the turn to where we've got Artificer's Assistant and Jhoira's down, so we're going to try and do some storm stuff. We have Ignite. Yeah, I was thinking about getting down Diligent Excavator, but we need to get some stuff moving. Let's go and go for Jeweled Amulet. Let's go and get the Weatherlight Captain trigger, and we'll get the Scry 1. Okay, that's going to be Buried Ruin on top. Let's go and put that on the bottom for right now. At this point right now, we're just looking for some sort of artifact to kind of get this chain going. Drawn to Academy Ruins. We're going to get on Jeweled Amulet. At this point right now, I think we've made the land drop for the turn. Let's see. No, we have not made the lane drop for the turn, so we will be able to get the lane drop down. Let's go and make that now. That's going to put us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll have 7 total mana. Let's go and go for Hurkyl's Recall. Let's go on Academy Ruins, add that Signet mana to our mana pool. And that'll still give us just enough mana for Ignite Mirror. So we're going to go for Hurkyl's Recall. We're going to choose us. That's going to send at least 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll still give us 3 more options between Welding Jar and Jeweled Amulet to kind of start building up some of that storm count. Let's get Jhoira's trigger on the stack. We're going to get the Scry 1 going. So I'm going to put that on the bottom for right now. Drawn to Island. Let's go and get down Welding Jar. Now this is what makes the deck, the deck is fun in that sometimes you can start filtering through your deck, but if you don't start to hit those artifacts and you start getting a bunch of lands instead of these 0 converted mana cost artifacts, you can kind of fizzle out. We are looking at a storm count of about maybe 4 or 5 or something like that. I'm not sure if we want to use Ignite Memories just for that, but we'll see what we can get going. Let's see if we can't chain together 1 more artifact. That would really kind of help us start to get some stuff going. I'm not entirely sure what our opponent has in the hand, but we might risk an Ignite Memories potentially, especially if we're going to be looking. Oh, there we go. We got the orb going. Okay, and that helps us out just a little bit more. It's going to get down orb. And this is the fun thing about the deck. You start filtering through there, and another fun thing about Storm is that you have Ignite Memory. With Empty the Warrens, you get a lot of goblins on the battlefield. But with Ignite Memories, it's kind of dependent on what they have in the hand. So it's always really fun to kind of risk your win condition on a Ignite Memories win. Grape Shot. All right. Let's go ahead and put... we're looking at Storm Count 7. Do we want to risk that? Or do we want to put that on the bottom for another artifact? Yeah, let's go and put that on the bottom. If we hit 1 more artifact, we'll be in a really good spot. Worn Power Stone, okay. Everflowing Chalice. Probably could have held on to Grape Shot, but I think at this point, I like what we've got going on. Let's go and go for Ignite Memories. That's going to be Storm Count 8. We're going to choose our opponent, see if this is going to be good. This typically is going to be at the point to where I don't know. It's going to be a little questionable. Depending on what sort of creature they have in their hand, if it's a really big creature or something like that, we'll see if this is going to be more than enough to close it out. Hopefully it will. All right, so we're going to choose same targets on this one. Same targets, choose our opponent. Let's get the reveal zone popped up too, because Magic Online always reveals it randomly. Click OK on this one. Ancestral Statue, okay, puts him down to 26. That was the first reveal. Mountain. Another statue, okay. We're running a little slim. Oblivion Sower's going to put him down to 16. Statue 12. Oh, Kessig Wolf Run. Mountain. Now, if we run... Oblivion's. Oh, okay. Puts him down right there. All right, let's get that closed out. Anything else? We're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So that was everything. So we were so close on that one. Unfortunately, we got a couple Keswick Wolfers and a couple mountains in there on our opponent, but that happens sometimes. We could swing in at this point right now. We're looking at Jhoira and the Artificer's Assistant, but you're not really going to be able to swing in that pack leader. So we're just going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. And we're going to cross off some of these, the double stuff that our opponent had in their hand. But hey, that's what makes Ignite Memories fun sometimes is if we just caught one of those Keswick Wolf runs in those mountains on Oblivion Sower. But at the same time, our opponent's sitting there just like, oh, can I dodge this? So... But one thing that we definitely need to watch out for is going to be Ancestral Statue. Once you get that down with Animar, it's going to cost... yeah, basically enters the battlefield, you can bounce it back to your hand. That's going to be something that they can basically kind of go infinite with Animar. Once they get those like 4 counters on there, they just simply just get a ton of counters on Animar. So we at least need to leave some sort of blocker up. Thankfully, Animar only has protection from white and black at this point right now. So with protection from white and black, at least it's going to allow us to still kind of throw out some of our artifacts to be some chump blockers, or even something like Artificer's Assistant. Now, last turn, we did scry away Grape Shot down to the bottom. Would have been nice to have that, but you know, if we had if we had something else in our hand that allowed us to kind of bounce back some of our artifacts, that would have been a really good keep for us. But I was hoping just to get a few more storm counts down, just a little bit further down the chain. But unfortunately, that was we whiffed on a couple of those Ignite Memories. Okay, now with our opponent having Gurk's Pack Leader on the battlefield, Ancestral Statue, they're basically going to be able to keep casting it for free and then drawing a card off Gurk's Pack Leader. Now, that does put them at 2 only mana available, so at this point right now, I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of let them do their thing, maybe kind of speed up whatever they're going for. Okay, opponent's going to get down Palicron. Enters the battlefield, untap up to 7 lands. They're going to be able, they definitely have 7 lands out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're going to be able to untap all of their lands. So we'll see what they're going to do with this Palicron. All right, so we're going to go scoop it up. I'll talk to our opponent real quick. And long story short, once they got down Palicron, they're going to be able to start generating a ton of mana. They still have that statue in their hand. They're going to be able to keep going for... keep getting that trigger on. There's a couple different ways. Our opponent mentioned that they did have Proforos, but basically what's going to happen is they're going to keep drawing that card with Gurk's Pack Leader, getting down the stat. Yeah, so basically if you're an Animar fan out there, there's definitely time. Oh, let me get it pulled back up. Sorry about that. Sometimes whenever the game ends, it sends it back to the home screen. I kind of want to talk about stuff. But yeah, long story short, especially if you're an Animar fan, Animar has a bunch of counters on it. So what's going to happen is they get down Palicron, that 4 mana, return it back to the hand. They're going to be able to keep generating mana off Palicron. With the statue in their hand, with Gurk's Pack Leader, they're going to be able to keep getting that card draw going. And then one thing that they can do is go for something with like infinite enter the battlefield trigger, something like Proforos, once they kind of keep that card draw going. Or maybe they somehow make enough mana, get down Crater Hoof, swing in for lethal or something like that. So I went ahead and scooped it up. I asked our opponent what was going on. They said yes, they had a few different win conditions. I was going to save them some clicking because I know what it's like to try and click through a combo like we did sometimes. So, but I wanted to make sure with him or her that it was okay first before I scooped that, and they were. But anyway, we see Animar go off like that. We were so close. We were 1 away from getting one of those Ignite Memory triggers to go our way. But unfortunately, that storm, you have a random red storm spell like that. That happens sometimes. It kind of makes Magic fun. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.